Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Coming up tonight, individuals over the age of 65 in the top priority group to get vaccinated. Meanwhile, a home in Grand Bahama destroyed by fire, and skin is in even during the pandemic. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Higgs, topping news tonight as the Bahamas awaits the arrival of the first round of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines. Prime Minister Dr. Rupert Minnis provided an update on the country's vaccine distribution plan this evening. Individuals over the age of 65 are now in the top priority group to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Previously, persons over the age of 65 weren't slated to be able to get the COVID-19 vaccine being developed by AstraZeneca due to a lack of data related to its effectiveness on persons over the age of 65. This comes as the national COVID-19 distribution plan is in the final stages of preparation, according to Dr. Minnis. Between 8 and 10 approved vaccination sites have been approved in New Providence, including drive-through sites. Sites have also been identified on Grand Bahama and the Family Islands.
Among the first priority groups eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine on New Providence and Grand Bahama are healthcare workers, people over the age of 65, uniformed branch members, frontline workers, critical workers in high-risk settings, and other essential service workers.
In making the case for the vaccine, Minnis says where vaccines have been used, there have been decreased hospitalizations and deaths. He warned that countries may require vaccination in order to enter and urged Bahamians to get vaccinated as soon as possible. He says another surge would be detrimental to public health and the country's economy. Meanwhile, Minnis says there will be a focus on vaccinating high-risk populations. Mobile units will be used to safely distribute vaccines to vulnerable populations. Vaccine appointment software will also be used.
On the Family Islands, health teams will vaccinate all eligible residents who choose to take the vaccine at the same time. This means that everyone on the Family Islands will be vaccinated at the same time.
The U.S. Embassy will assist with air transportation of vaccines to the Family Islands, especially the remote ones. More details on the AstraZeneca vaccine are expected tomorrow. The Bahamas secured a commitment from India for a small quantity of AstraZeneca vaccines manufactured in that country. Meanwhile, Dr. Minnis warned Bahamians about fake news.
This will allow those who choose to take the vaccine to schedule their appointments digitally on their smartphones, tablet, or computer. For those without access to the internet or a device, appointment centers will be set up to provide assistance with making appointments to receive the vaccine.
Meanwhile, Dr. Minnis urged Bahamians to get reliable information about the vaccine.
As we embark on our vaccination campaign, it is important that you reject the large amount of fake news and misinformation circulating on social media and the internet. Let me state again that we are using World Health Organization approved vaccines. These vaccines are safe and they are already being administered in various countries around the world.
The Ministry of Health recorded 34 coronavirus cases on Friday, including 16 on Cat Key after a mass testing exercise was conducted on a workplace on that island. A total of 175 tests were conducted. Of the 16 positive tests, all were asymptomatic. There was one case that had a travel history. On Saturday, 10 new cases were reported. Hospitalizations are at 14, with one person in the intensive care unit. The Secretary of the Governor General announced today that the Office of the Governor General will be closed from February 22nd to February 28th due to exposure to COVID-19. As a precautionary measure, Governor General Sir C.A. Smith was tested for COVID-19, but that came back negative according to a statement released by the Secretary to the Governor General. In any event, the Governor General will self-quarantine. Contact tracing is underway by the Ministry of Health. The office plans to reopen on March 1st, 2021. Weeks after touring the farm, Shantytown and Treasure Key, Abaco, Works Minister Desmond Bannister says the government is looking at what action it can take to address the issue. Bannister said recommendations have been made that require interagency cooperation and that very soon there will be some action.
There's some recommendations that are being made. It requires interagency cooperation, and I'm sure that very soon you're going to see some action.
Bannister did not specify what the action will be or how it will affect the August 2018 court order that was handed down by Supreme Court Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. The injunction blocks the demolition of shantytown structures. The government has been seeking to have the injunction lifted.
It's very easy to criticize the government. I think you saw our resolve with respect to the mud. You also our resolve with respect to Pigeon Peak, both of which are now fenced in and nobody's there. You saw our resolve with respect to Sandbank, again another place where there were many homes, and you saw what we did. And you now are going to see our resolve with respect to this community. One of the challenges with the farm, and I think I would have spoken to the press before, was that right after the hurricane, there were actually some families that were living there. And so we had a demolition crew in there, and because of the people living there and the previous court orders, we could not do what we wanted to do in there. But those court orders prohibit certain things. And when I was there, I saw some of those things happening. And so the government now is going to take appropriate action in relation to those buildings.
After Hurricane Dorian in 2019, the government imposed a 6-month ban on building in shantytowns. Bannister said despite any criticism, the government is moving to rid the country of those unregulated communities.
You've seen the generators for yourself. You've seen the roads for yourself. Those roads were built by heavy equipment that are owned by Bahamians. Those generators didn't come into the country just like that. They came in with the help of some Bahamians. The things that are happening there with respect to construction, there are some people who are unfortunately involved. And I mentioned a number of government agencies, and believe me, you're not going to tolerate anybody who does anything that is not in line with public policy.
A fire destroyed a home in Grand Bahama on Friday evening. According to police officers, received reports of a structural fire at a residence located in the Lunar Boulevard area at around 9:45. When firefighters responded, they met a single-story home fully engulfed in flames.
At this time, the fire department is still investigating this matter. And as soon as we have more information, we'll come back to the press.
Well, the son of the homeowners say firefighters arrived and no water was coming out of the trucks. Jasper Hansen, a native of Denmark, says another truck came and no water came out of that one either.
Yeah, at the time when the first one came, it was only to the, the very outer room where the garage is that had caught fire. But since there were no water, it kind of expanded to the rest of the house.
Now, ASP Stephen Roll of Grand Bahama Royal Bahamas Police Force was asked about the man's claim that fire trucks arrived but put no water on the fire. However, he said he was unable to comment on the matter at the time. A bad deal is brewing in Grand Bahama, according to PLP Deputy Leader Chester Cooper, who's wary of the Grand Lucayan deal. Cooper says he feels the government is giving away too much, and because he does not trust the government to negotiate on the people's behalf, he'll be calling for a review of that deal.
Our gut tells us that we have a very, very bad deal coming down the pike in Grand Bahama. I am going to request the details through the Public Accounts Committee. We're going to stay on this government because I'm very concerned that they are about to inflict more pain on the people of Grand Bahama and the people of the Bahamas. And we're going to be sure that we can see the details and hopefully cause them to make some transitions.
Still to come on our news, a mother appeals for help with a major medical issue, and we take a closer look at the importance of skincare. Stay with us.
Yeah, I got. That's supposed to happen.
Listen. Where's your heart? Where is your compassion? Do you have a soul?
Hey, Jimbo, clear my schedule for the rest of the day, eh?
There you go, boy. Yeah, bro. And what are the chances we can actually operate on the patient? Come on, man. Surgery will begin in 2300 hours, okay?
So, we do our rappers, right? These rappers, man.
Silly girls, pretty girls, ghetto girls, pretty girls, kind girls, funny girls, yeah, we got all kind of girls.
T on the track, T on the mic. First I was in the Honda, now on the bike. I tell her hop on back, she holding on my back. I threw the wide back, straight back, 12 o'clock. Too much girls to choose from like any, many, mighty mo.
A mother of two is pleading for help with raising $180,000 for a kidney transplant. Jillian Gray tells us her story.
The shock of being diagnosed with acute kidney failure in 2018 has not yet worn off for Dorothea Gator Clare.
When I first got my diagnosis in 2018, I was in complete shock because I'm always a healthy person, and one day I just started to feel sick, weak, fatigue.
Gator Clare says it's been a whirlwind of emotions over the past few years. At one point, she lost her sight, and her last stint in the hospital was just 1 week ago.
After my second visit to the hospital when I was placed on dialysis, I spent about 3 months in the hospital. During that time, I did a lot of soul searching because I really did not know what was going on with me.
The mother of two is in desperate need of a kidney transplant. While Gator Clare says she's had her fair share of bad days, her trust in God and support of her family and friends helps her to stay positive.
It's not a death sentence. Like I said, I always put God first, and support. Family support is very important. Support of friends and others is very important. You know, sometimes, yes, you can get depressed, and sometimes you can get discouraged because you think that, hey, you don't know where this journey is going to end. But I thank God, you know, because He comforts me.
The next step is to raise $180,000 for a kidney transplant at the Cleveland Clinic.
Any donations would be greatly appreciated. You can please it at Dorothea Clare, Scotiabank, Cable Beach, 101-6673.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
In a time where we keep 2/3 of our faces covered up, surprisingly, skin is in. Now more than ever, people are investing in their skincare, and Bahamian business owners are riding the wave. Christina Dragovich has that.
Maskne, acne, dark spots, anti-aging, and blemishes. We may spend most of our time covering up our faces nowadays, but it's what's under the mask that really counts. CEO of Her Appeal, Lakeisha Outen, says during the pandemic, she discovered that more and more Bahamian women were investing in their skincare and self-care.
Being at home, you have a lot of time to focus on yourself. And one of the main things were skincare and how women per se, and Black women, were taking the time to take advantage of that.
So the company, which was originally founded as Hair Appeal, became Her Appeal, making skincare, lifestyle, and beauty products accessible and affordable.
During that time, we saw the opportunity to increase and expand our brand into things that women can actually use. Bahamian women of that, you know, our brand is solely for Bahamian women to normalize luxury and self-care.
And that trend wasn't just local, but global. According to a report by Lucentel, the worldwide skincare industry is expected to leap to $135 billion this year, encompassing anti-aging, sun protection, and all things facial care. Sun protection in particular is one area Outen says Bahamians and Black women have traditionally neglected.
Black women, or Black people on whole, we don't see the need to wear sunscreen when we go outside, and we live in a climate where it's always sunny. And to help us or make it easier for Bahamians, we decided why not bring in that so that persons are able to have it at their reach.
Her appeal took the plunge and became the only company in the Bahamas and the second in the region to introduce Black Girl Sunscreen, a line of sunscreen designed to protect melanated skin without leaving a cast or residue. Outen says sunscreen is just one step in a skincare routine, but women of all ages shouldn't be intimidated if they don't have one.
A skincare regimen is something that we all should have. You know, it's hard being, I should say, women or mom, single mom that I am, that we don't incorporate time to take care of ourselves. You know, self-care. So with the skincare kits, you have a moisturizer, a cleanser, a serum, all in one.
Outen says no matter your age, skin is in 2021. Reporting for Our News, I'm Christina Dragovich.
When Our News comes back from the break, Exuma straw vendors make sacrifices during the pandemic.
Okay? No. Yeah, I got. That's supposed to happen.
Listen, wait. Where's your heart? Where is your compassion? Do you have a soul?
Hey, Jimbo, clear my schedule for the rest of the day, eh?
Where do you go, boy? Here, bro. And what are the chances we can actually operate on the patient? Come on, man. Surgery will begin in 2300 hours. Okay?
So we do our rappers, right? These rappers, man.
Silly girls, pretty girls, ghetto girls, pretty girls, kind girls, funny girls, yeah, we got all kind of girls.
T on the track, T on the mic. First I was in the Honda, now on the bike. I tell her hop on back, she holding on my back. I threw the wide back, straight back, 12 o'clock. Too much girls to choose from, like any, many, mighty, mo.
Welcome back. Exuma straw vendors got the green light to reopen in late November after being out of work for months. But as Berthany McDermott tells us, things just haven't been the same.
Straw vendors on Exuma say they're still adjusting to the drastic change brought on by the global pandemic. We met Geraldine Dames, who has been in the straw business for more than 25 years. When the pandemic hit nearly a year ago, she says she was forced to make some tough decisions.
It was crazy. Trust me, I had to drop out of insurance because I couldn't pay the insurance. So, but like I say, we all have to just depend on God and allow God.
She's not alone. Other straw vendors we spoke to say it wasn't easy. The straw market on Exuma reopened in late November, but was hit with another harsh reality. With the tourism industry taking a major blow, vendors say their income was slashed.
It was a bit slow. And during the 2 holidays between the Christmas and the New Year's, we had some guests and we did pretty well, but after that everything just died down. Right now we get a few tourists in every other day. Someday you make something, someday you don't.
You could say tourists are on the decline in some way, but from day to day we still manage to survive. We still manage to make a few dollars.
In recent weeks, Exuma has seen little to no confirmed cases of COVID-19. And nearly a year into the pandemic, Jenna Mae McKinsey Williams is of the view that family islands like Exuma are oftentimes forgotten.
Well, I still think we are forgotten because like our island still ain't fully open. We like the schools still are not face-to-face.
We asked what changes they'd like to see to make life on the island a bit easier.
Unless we get the tourists, we can't do no business at all. Once we get the tourists, everything will be okay.
A lot. Like it used to be way back. You can just make whatever and you get it sell. And you don't have to worry about, well, you can't make this or you can't do that.
Now, while these straw vendors admit that it has been difficult during the pandemic, they say they're just thankful that now they're making some sort of an income. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
The Guardian Media Group encouraging Bahamians to get fit. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Okay? No. Yeah, I got. That's supposed to happen.
Listen. Wait. Where's your heart? Where is your compassion? Do you have a soul?
Hey, Jimbo, clear my schedule for the rest of the day, eh?
Where do you go, boy? Here go. And what are the chances we can actually operate on the patient? Come on, man. Surgery will begin in 2300 hours. Okay?
So we do our rappers, right? These rappers, man.
Silly girls, pretty girls, ghetto girls, pretty girls, kind girls, funny girls, yeah, we got all kind of girls.
On the track, T on the mic. First I was in the Honda, now on the bike. I tell her hop one back, she holding on my back. I threw the wide back, straight back, 12 o'clock. Too much girls to choose from, like any, many, mighty, mo.
The Guardian Media Group is encouraging Bahamians to get up, get out, and get active in 2021 with their latest fitness contest. The group launched Get Active 2021 on February 6th, and the initiative will last until the 26th. It's a virtual fitness contest in effort to get more people exercising in the new year. Special Projects Coordinator Paul Fernando tells us how to enter.
So persons can get active, post a video, post a photo, and they'll have opportunities to win prizes once people like what they are doing. So the most likes allow you to win.
If you're interested, send a photo or short video of yourself exercising to hot917fm.com, guardiantalkradio.com, star106fm.com, or the nassauguardian.com in order to enter. Contestants are able to enter until February 26th, and over 40 winners will be announced on March 5th. Prizes include a 2-night stay at Comfort Suites, round-trip airline tickets, and much more.
They can win a round-trip ticket on an airline, a 2-night stay at Comfort Suite, gift certificates for Bahari, Modern Design, Sia Monet candles, as well as water from Blue.
Thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. To watch Our News on the go, download the Rev Go Play app. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Jared Higgs. Have a beautiful Sunday, Bahamas.